I've always said, you just can't have a great country if you don't have religion. You have to believe in something. You have to believe that what we're doing, there's a reason for it. There has to be a reason for it.
A Negro is not anti-Semitic when he says that the man who's exploiting him in his community is white, because it is a white man who owns all the stores. Now, is it an accident that these whites who own these stores are Jewish? If it's an accident, then the fact that he says the Jew on the corner is exploiting me isn't an anti-Semitic statement. It's just more descriptive of the man who's exploiting him.
2017 speeches and interviews, you described Pizzagate as a baseless conspiracy theory, alleging you and others ran a child sex trafficking ring from a Washington pizzeria basement. Have you reviewed any 2025-2026 Epstein files that were released that you believe reference or relate to those specific 2016 claims regarding the Podesta emails, Comet Ping Pong Pizza used as code possibly?
While we're denouncing, let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is a satanic cult run by the deep
study
state.
The subject. I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by Republicans.
Republican Senator Ben Sass said, quote, QAnon is nuts, and real leaders call conspiracy theories conspiracy theories.
He may be
Why not
right.
just say it's crazy and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me ask you another thing.
Let's waste a whole show. You start off with white supremacy. I denounce it. You start off with something else. Let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more in this vein.
Let me just tell you, what I do hear about it is they are very strongly against pedophilia. And I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that, and I agree with it.
But there's not a satanic pedophile cult being run by.
I know nothing
You don't know
about
that? Okay.
No, I don't know
You
that.
just this
neither
week.
do you know that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're asking her about whether she's reviewed emails in the Epstein files which relate to the wacky Pizzagate scandal.
You could characterize it however you want. I just would like to know if she's familiar with any of them.
So
She's
excuse me,
commenting.
your question is about whether or not she has reviewed any emails in the Epstein release files about Pizzagate.
Correct.
She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
Catherine is very gentle and kind. Talk to her and you'll see.
Pizzagate was totally made up. It was an outrageous allegation that ended up hurting a number of people, that caused a deranged young man to show up with his assault rifle and shoot up a local pizzeria. I can't believe you're even referencing it. You should be.
There are connections to the language.
Well, the QAnon people believe there are. So
I don't know what QAnon people believe.
Have at it.
But you've accused certain parties, and I.
Yeah, I did. I said that Democrats don't eat babies, but you guys were righter about this than I was. And when we were mocking you and saying, oh, these crazy conspiracy theories, they think there's some sort of pedophile ring of the elites around the world.
And there was a pedophile ring of elites around the world.
Now I'm thinking there really was like a child trafficking in Pizzagate. Let's go look in that pizza parlor.
No, there's not a Pizzagate.
I don't know.
Hillary's not part of it. Okay.
Are you aware of any files that were on Anthony Weiner's laptop in a folder that was titled insurance, life insurance, with a zip file titled Frazzle?
This is ruling.
This is way
within the
outside
scope?
This
Is this within the scope, Mr. Chairman?
If the chairman rules that it's not within the scope, I
Mr.
have
Chairman,
other
based
questions.
on what you said in the public hearing, is this within the scope?
We can go off the record for a moment.
Mr. Chairman, is this within the scope?
We'll go off the record and can talk.
At White House Senior Living, our residents feel right at home. Our vibrant facility offers delightful activities and outings, round-the-clock professional care, and exquisite house-made meals.
Well, I've been eating everything that's put in front of me. I've been eating all Italian foods, basically.
And ice cream.
And ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream.
White House Senior Living, where residents feel like presidents.
Number 10, pretty funny, not gonna lie. Epstein calling Madonna cattle. Epstein to Redacted, of course they don't want you to see who it was. He said, saw Madonna on the Jew Larry King show talking about Kabbalah. Hollywood's types, especially Gentiles who take Kabbalah lessons from some rabbi huckster, are a funny joke. Larry didn't look amused to be talking Jew religious issues with a cattle. Anyway, that's number 10. Let's get to number 9. Let's stick with this theme. David Stern was talking to Epstein. Epstein said, just go hang out in the lobby. And David Stern said, that's for the goyim. Anyway, let's get to number 8. Steve Bannon and Epstein talked a lot, which is fascinating to me because Steve Bannon's been really outspoken recently about the Israel lobby in America, yet he seemed to be one of the closest people to Jeffrey Epstein before he passed, aka killed himself, aka did that really happen, aka is he even really dead? But it seemed like Steve Bannon was trying to rehab Jeffrey Epstein's image, which is wild. And this one was interesting to me. Epstein said, tariff wrestling, Ji Kim Judo. Steve Bannon said, all roads lead to Beijing. Epstein said, or Tel Aviv, wink. I'm back in New York tomorrow afternoon till Saturday morning, you. Lots more where it came from Bannon and Epstein. I'm fascinated to hear what Steve Bannon has to say about all this. All right, number 7. Hopefully I don't get drone struck for this one, but if I do get drone struck at any point in my life, you should be able to figure out who did it. One email said, I give you permission to kill him. He is apparently with Olga. He lied to you. He lied to me. Number 6 is an email between a Rothschild and Epstein about Ukraine. Epstein wrote, Ukraine upheaval should provide many opportunities, many. The Rothschild wrote, I miss our talks and hope you're well. We'll be home tomorrow night. Will you be free? And let's discuss Ukraine.
Because the correct Hebrew translation of the German word Rothschild is Magen Edom, meaning shield of the Edomites. The Hebrew word Edom means red, as well as the nation of Edom descended from Esau, Jacob's evil twin. The name Edom is composed of the word Adam, Aleph, Dalet, Mem, plus the serpent letter Vav, which is a pictogram of a snake. The Hebrew word Edom signifies the joining of the holy bloodline of Eve with the satanic seed of the serpent through their son Cain by adding a snake, a Vav, to the name Adam. Edom is literally spelled Adam, who is also Eve, plus the snake of Vav in the Garden of Eden, to graphically and cryptically portray Judaism's secret doctrine that Gentiles are the satanic offspring of the evil serpent and Eve. Eve herself is said to be the evil, tempting female side of Adam, which means that Gentiles derive entirely from evil and have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Many of the leading Rothschilds have had a messiah complex and acted as dynastical kings of the Jews, like King David. They adopted a coat of arms that mimics the German Jewish royal houses of Hanover and Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, as well as the Royal Scottish and related regal coat of arms of Great Britain, which came to be ruled by those same German Jewish royal houses.
Yes, Ukraine. Number 5, Jeffrey Epstein emailing Redacted, of course, they can't show you who this is. Hey Jeffrey, do you still need a fake wife? I might have found a perfect candidate. She is 50, Russian, speaks perfect English, has lived and worked in New York, Jewish, and trustworthy. She's looking for a job. Should I propose it to her? Let's move on to number 4. Epstein, to the journalist or book writer Wolf, said that the original funder of the dossier was Rubio. Number 3, an email about giving ISIS a pass. Epstein to Tom Pritzker. Turkey gives Nusra a heads up on Iraqi recruits, slaughter. Russia gives Erdogan a heads up on coup. U.S. gives a pass on ISIS to Palmyra. Assad has no support, so we'll stay. Number 2, Epstein to Peter Thiel. He said, as you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds. Wow. But my number 1 is Jeffrey Epstein in an email to Roger Schenck. This is the way the Jew make money and made a fortune in the past 10 years. Selling short the shipping futures, let the Goyim deal in the real world.
So things get really deep when you look into the tiny hats and slavery. Yes, this was left out of the history books because guess who owns the history books? Those tiny hats over here. And when we look at who owned all the slaves and were the slave traders and the auctioneers, tiny hats. And who owned the newspapers? Tiny hats. And then who also created the division Oh, I think you're starting to understand it. And then you also find about the exploitation of the slaves and how they treated people. Obviously, they're not going to tell anybody this part. And then it also gets interesting when you find out that the Tiny Hats were defending that they should stay slaves. Isn't that interesting? And people would say, no, that would never happen, really. Slave dealing was an extremely profitable business. And this is where it always ties back to the Rothschilds.
But you've accused certain parties, and I think even right now today, of promoting slow walking or information in ways that fuels conspiracies. In your view, did any Epstein-Maxwell related investigations or file handling pre or post 2019 contribute to or intersect with the spread of Pizzagate-style theories about Democrat figures?
Objection.
I have no way of answering. That is the most
speculation.
Ridiculously.
Have you or your representatives identified any Epstein file content that has been misinterpreted online to revive those claims? And what steps, if any, have you taken to clarify?
Again, object on the ground of
I think that this is all very
speculation.
reasonable.
Well, first of all, I don't follow the crazy conspiracy stories that are online. I regret that anybody does. I find it quite sad, but also disturbing that people would believe some of what is put forth, like Pizzagate. So I have taken no steps to review anything that might have any connection to something which I think is totally bogus.
In the wilds of American politics, we encounter a remarkable tale of transformation. Our protagonist, a young idiotic bartender, embarks on an astonishing journey that takes her from behind the bar to the corrupt halls of Congress overnight. This young jackass, not known for her intellectual prowess, is driven by a fervent commitment to woke ideology. As she ascends into the halls of corruption, our young jackass is filled with idealism and vodka, determined to implement her idiotic ideas. However, the road ahead is fraught with challenges, and her extremely low intellect quickly becomes even more apparent. Her woke policies lead to chaos, and the area she represents becomes even more of a shithole. Illegal immigration surges, straining local resources. Poverty deepens, casting a shadow of despair over the community. Drugs and crime grip the region, leaving its residents regretting putting a bartender in charge of their city. It appears that our young jackass's lack of intellect and dumbass notions are screwing the very people she was supposed to serve. The story of this young jackass in Congress is a cautionary tale of putting a bartender in charge of more than making margaritas.
Sean, number one, Governor Tim Walz. Whatever he says, believe the opposite. I'm sorry, the man learned to lie before he learned to talk. He's just a. I can't help it. You crack me up. Well, he's just a less masculine version of Hillary Clinton. Oh man! Oh my gosh!